Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. So once again we are in our Wizarding World diorama section of our Hogwarts Tower, the balcony level, which is finished with this planked flooring inside. So if you saw the previous video where we did 12 Grimmauld Place, you'll know that all of these studs hold the various parts and pieces into our MOC. And this week we're going to look at the next interior that we're going to be displaying here, and that's going to be the Shrieking Shack. So let's have a look. So as with 12 Grimmauld Place, the Shrieking Shack set that came out last year came with a lovely set of stickers for the interior. I managed to get hold of a sheet of those stickers. So we've just made use of them here on the MOC. So this is one of the side walls. We've got the broken mirror, bit where the plaster's been battered away, so you can see the interior workings of the shack, those old planks. Now these are actually stuck to some glass panes. In the Ministry of Magic, we actually got a couple of these in dark brown, which would be far preferable to having them stuck to glass. I've actually got two of these sheets of stickers because I just needed some extra. So if I manage to replace those panes with dark brown ones, then I'll be able to use the other set of stickers that I've got. Or maybe I will take a leaf out of Robin Hood Bricks' book and use the hot tea technique to remove these ones. Anyway, this is the side wall. We've got a fireplace. Now, because we're only one brick deep, if we were to put an interior to the fireplace, put some cheese wedges or little flame elements, then we'd be open at the back and it wouldn't look great. So I've just left it as a void. As it's a side wall, you can't really see it. It's really just the extra 3D spacer on the side. As you can see, the wall's made up primarily of dark bluish grey, dark tan, but in a variety of different elements. We've got a couple of palisade bricks, regular bricks, plates and modified plates, as well as our window frames. The fireplace is just held on with some snot bricks, just to give a little mantle around the fireplace. And that's going to be our first side wall. So along the back we have three of the larger panels. Each of our side walls is made up of a 1x6 panel, and our back walls are, upside down, are 1x8. Again, same sort of techniques. Lots of snot bricks in all sorts of colours, holding on these doors. Now, if I remember to, when I'm editing this, I will try and place up some pictures of the Shrieking Shack interior from the movies, and you will see that just behind Ron on the chaise longue there is these sort of like cupboard doors with these slatted doors, obviously. So I just thought I'd use these stickers, which I think were, I think windows in the main set, or representing some kind of set of blinds, but they work perfectly for the latticed windows, so I thought, yes, that's what we'll go for. Again, we've got variation in the colours of the walls there, and even some depth with these rail pieces. They actually serve a purpose, or at least this one here does, because by sticking out at one stud's width from the end, it stops this side wall falling in, so I can put pressure on that wall and it's not going to just collapse. Or with it being only one stud deep, it's not super sturdy. Our central wall panel has studded to its side the chaise, or the daybed, whatever you want to call it, that Ron sits on when he's got his bum leg. Just made up of a few 1x6s, a couple of studs, and then tiled off on the front with one of these jumpers on, just to help secure a minifigure to it. And then we have the door to the main room. So this is made up of a stack of snot bricks here, to hold one of these hinges. See that? Just so we've got slight angle for the door, which itself is just a 2x6 tile with a black plate on the back. That's just going to help fill in the gap there, just so we're not seeing the backdrop. And these just give us our doors to the room. So you see here we've got a pair of headlight bricks placed back on. I'll show you the reason for those in a moment. So let's reassemble our MOC after wrecking it. There, and then we've got the central section of the wall. The end, again, much the same, using those different textured bricks. We've got that sticker of the painting up there. It's not mounted on brackets, just for a bit of extra depth and a bit of variety. Here you see again we've got another headlight with a tile poking out to say exactly the same job as the rail piece on this side did, and that's to stop this last wall collapsing in. Now, to do a couple of things special with this wall. Now, initially, because of the way that the bed was built, I needed these holes in the walls, and I've left them there for now because I may revert back to the previous build for the bed, and I'll show you that in a moment. I've also had to use a couple of round studs on the bottom, just because this jumper here stops a normal brick going across, so we just need it to be able to slot, you can just see there, around those studs. And that protruding tile just there again stops the wall falling in, so it keeps the build nice and stable without too many points of permanent connection. Okay, let's have a look at the inside. So you've already seen the shades, and that can just sit here on one of these studs there for Ron to collapse onto in a state of distress. The other main bit of furniture in this room is the large bed. Now, if you saw the bits and pieces video that I did recently showing the Hogwarts furniture, then this build will be fairly familiar to you, because this is the original version that I did. Now, initially, these two poles were much shorter. The canopy was broken and distorted, and that's why I needed the holes in the side of the build here, just so I could put a long bar through there, just to help give the bed a little more stability. I've also changed the bottom set of telescopes into this gold, just to add a bit of extra colour, because it does get very samey, as you can see just by looking at it. It's all not a lot of variation. There might be an argument for going in with some medium nougat and maybe some light bluish grey, just to break up the colours of the shack a little bit. But here's our bed. We've just got some studs down here, and we're just going to stud that in at the end here. So that's our bed in our Shrieking Shack bedroom. Now, I mentioned those headlight bricks on the wall, and that's so we can take Wormtail here, and if we don't want him displayed in full in the scene, then we can recreate that moment from the movie where his transformation occurred, and just have his legs sticking through the wall. There we go. But let's bring Wormy back in. So we can also obviously have Wormtail displayed full body. We'll just have him at bay here. More Sirius and Remus discuss what to do. And of course, also in this scene, we're going to need Hermione tending to Ron, and Harry looking crossly on. And of course, one other player in this little tableau is Snape. We're just going to have him lying on the bed, having been blasted there by Harry. So that's our Shrieking Shack display. Fairly simple, nothing too complicated. Again, just a 1 brick deep construction, and it allows us to display our minifigures showing the scene. I do like our scenes fairly well packed. I think about 6 figures is pretty much golden. Obviously I've got 7 here. Snape's not really an active participant, and I might even add a 7th to Grimmauld Place if I ever manage to get hold of Creature, who is an obvious addition to that display. So once again, we need to pack this away when it's not being used. So let's have a look at how we do that. So if you've seen a number of our previous videos, then you will know that I like my Hogwarts Moments book covers. I am sad to see them go as a selection of parts, if nothing else. I'm looking forward to the house banners. That's another story. Because what we're talking about is our book covers, and this is how we are going to be storing the Shrieking Shack. So we've gone for dark tan this time, and again we've extended the spine as we did with 12 Grimmauld Place, just to make it a little wider. Still waiting on some bricks to build the spine. You can see the way it's constructed here means that we need inverted slopes to make up the details of the spine. I've just got a few on there just to give it some integrity. While we wait for that order to arrive, it does look quite broken down. I quite like it. Let's come up with a way of doing distressed book cover using anti-studs. So let's make a start. I'm going to take apart our MOC, bring down our walls instead. So we'll start with our long walls. We're going to pop these up here towards the top. And because these have a layer of plate, they won't quite touch each other, but 2 of them will snugly sit edge to edge, and again stop them falling over or collapsing. We can take our 3rd long wall, start our chaise up the top there, and that can sit in there again with a lovely push connection, so nothing's going to collapse if there's too much pressure applied to the cover. Let's grab our middle wall, and then here we can put a bed. Oh, don't push it too hard. And our final wall, again leaving some space there. You see I've got a couple of studs protruding on the back there. That's for no reason other than again waiting for an order to come. So we've just got single-sided snot bricks, but they don't interfere with the cover coming up. There's actually a little bit of clearance either side, but there we have our book cover. Again, you can look at me, I say you can squeeze it and it won't break. So it's nice and secure, it's not going to squish. You've got this one going all the way across to provide some bracing, and that will display up on our shelf along with its companion volume for 12 Grimmauld Place. Now don't forget, these spines all need work, so that's going to be something for the future as soon as parts arrive. But that is how we are displaying the 1st and 2nd interiors for our Wizarding World. So I think we've got at least 2, if not 3 more to look at before we've got as much out of this diorama display base as we possibly can. The next up, I think, is probably going to be the Leaky Cauldron. It's going to be another interior that's going to make use of this plank floor. And after that, probably the Burrow. But I still haven't finished the designs for that one, so that may be a few weeks down the line. So thanks for joining us. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. And if you'd like to see some more Wizarding World interior dioramas, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.